Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing another video, and today it's going to be about Feminist Frequency's latest video about Jade from the game Beyond, or Good and Evil. Again, pray for me in an atheist way, because I'm going in. This time I think I've got a better chance of survival.
Oh my goodness, oh my god, I think we've gone full guitar. Excuse the bad singing, but let's get into it.
My name is Jade, and I haven't the foggiest how we're gonna get out of here.
Can I just say, Anita Sarkeesian and Jonathan McIntosh, chiptune does not make a gaming channel cool, nor does it make it particularly gaming. I do stuff about games, I don't need chiptune.
Jade is the protagonist of the 2003 third-person action-adventure game Beyond Good and Evil.
I'll just say, her choice of video games are terribly lucky. She's had a woefully awful indie game that didn't even sell much, and now we've got this decade-old game. Can she pick at least modern games? But then again, she doesn't really play games, she's not a gamer, she wouldn't know this shit, would she? It's all Macintosh. But he doesn't know much either.
She's a brave photojournalist who sets out to uncover a conspiracy between alien invaders and her own corrupt government.
That sounds very familiar. Carry on, Anita.
They're coming. Quick, Fen, jump up.
We start getting a sense of who Jade is from the moment we see her, and refreshingly,
Go tell Paige. I'll take care of the shield.
she actually looks the part of the active, practical, young woman of color who has a job.
It's that bloody phrase again, woman of colour. Firstly, she doesn't particularly look like a person of colour. I mean, hey, I'm darker than her. And so what? If anything, she looks like an action hero. Not a all-action person of colour. Already we're making her a statistic and not a video game character. Or, better off, a better way of saying this, a freaking hero. But, carry on. I should really say heroine, actually. But, oh well, I don't care.
To do.
Shield activated.
We learn about who characters are not just from the things they say and do, but also from how they look. Visual design is an important way for game designers to communicate information at a glance about a character's experience and personality traits. Sadly, women in games are often depicted in wildly impractical, sexualized clothing designed to make them appealing to straight male players.
I don't think she realised that sexuality being used to appeal to a mass audience is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. People have done this for years for both genders. Women like men, sexy men on covers, men like sexy men on covers. Women like sexy women on covers. Men also like sexy women on covers. There's nothing wrong with this, but when it comes to puritanical crazy people like Anita Sarkeesian and Paul Macintosh, it's basically the devil.
But Jade isn't designed to fulfill someone else's fantasy.
There's a woman for every man and a woman for every woman. Trust me, there will be some people who will be fapping over Jade. Just go on DeviantArt, I'm sure there's someone.
The midriff top is a little silly, but
Oh, cleavage!
for the most part, she looks like someone who is dressed to accommodate her own needs.
Technically, shorts would be better than canvas jeans or whatever the hell she's wearing. I don't care.
I mean, you don't get much more practical than cargo pants.
As I just said before.
Games often give us heroes who are either fantastically wealthy, like the Bruce Waynes and Lara Crofts of the world, or who at least don't have practical, everyday concerns about money.
So, it's a fantasy. That's the point. That's why those characters are far more popular and successful than Jade and the Scythian.
But money's not just an abstract concept for Jade. She's a working-class character with real financial struggles. This is established at the very beginning of the game when we learn that the orphanage's electricity has been shut off and Uncle Page's hovercraft is in dire need of repair.
Working class that she owns a hovercraft. Yes, this rich arsehole knows exactly what being working class is. Not like yours truly.
Shield disabled.
Your Optima account is
350.
units short. Your electrical supply has just been blocked.
Gotta be joking!
Thank you for
These are characters who struggle just to make ends meet, and for them, concerns about their economic situation have real implications for their ability to provide for themselves and their adopted family.
We're stuck here. No hovercraft, no shield. Optima has cut off the power. The account is empty.
In order to pay the bills, we're introduced to a mechanic that establishes one of Jade's creative talents, photography. Throughout the game, she is paid to document and catalog the diverse animal life on the planet with her camera.
So far, I've not seen anything that suggests these people are working class and that they are struggling to make ends meet. As far as I'm concerned, they're living the life, going out there cataloguing animals. I mean, I've not seen anything that actually shows them as poor or at least struggling. They seem to be okay. They just don't have enough money in the bank. I'm sure the next paycheck will sort that out, as she's saying. But carry on, Anita. Yeah, whatever.
Hi, Jade. I see Secundo already talked to you about the job. The war is taking its toll. We need a complete inventory of all species living on the planet.
Instead of just showing or offhandedly telling us about her skills in cutscenes, the designers have built character development right into the gameplay.
That's what pretty much every game designer does. I don't know if you know about that, Anita.
Giving players a pleasant, non-violent way of interacting with and appreciating.
What is this obsession with violence? She's been... Actually, I'll get on to that point in a minute. I was about to say something then, but we'll let her carry on.
The beauty of the game's world, while simultaneously reinforcing that Jade is a woman of many talents. Edge magazine insightfully observed that part of what makes Jade so memorable is the fact that she can view this strange world and all of its careworn inhabitants through the lens of a camera, rather than the scope of an assault rifle.
Yeah, a couple minutes ago, we've just seen her fighting some crazy thing that was shooting at her with a stick that looks very much like a weapon. I don't know about you, but she doesn't seem to look through the world through the eyes of a camera entirely now, does she?
Hey, Jade! A school of blue scorpion fish!
This not only gives Jade more depth, but also encourages the player to view.
Using a camera doesn't give anyone more depth. Plus, it's not exactly a revolutionary gaming mechanic. I mean, there's been other games that have done that before, like Fatal Frame. That's all you ever do. That's all you ever use. All you use is a camera obscura. You don't have a weapon in that game. Unlike Jade here, who does actually have a weapon.
The life forms of Hillies with some measure of respect, rather than seeing them solely as enemies to be destroyed.
From the same family as the scorpion fish. Very difficult to photograph.
You know, she's trying to chill off this game, but she's making it sound incredibly boring. I don't know, but if I was someone, well, I am actually someone who's never played this game before, just to tell everyone. So I'm not trying to pass judgment on the game. I'm just passing judgment on what Anita's saying. And I wouldn't want to play this. Why would I want to play this game? She's making it sound shit.
Many games center on so-called heroes who are out for personal glory or revenge.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a good plot device. I mean, what's Jade out for?
Beyond Good and Evil's narrative establishes Jade's altruistic desire to achieve social justice.
So this is what it's about. This is about shilling a game and basically trying to paint her image of the game to everybody else. No, you see, as far as I'm aware, Beyond Good and Evil is definitely not about social justice. And as we'll see soon, the parallels between this game and a certain event that has been going on for the last 8 months becomes pretty apparent.
It's worth noting that Jade avoids falling into the tired cliche of the tough as nails, solve all problems with violence, strong female character.
She's tough as nails, solves problems with violence and without violence. In fact, I think pretty much most video game characters have done that before. I hate the generalizations that she's basically saying that all video game characters are violent and that they all solve problems through violence. No, that's not the case at all. It's, in fact, let's just let it carry on. As usual, you know, I'm just getting sick of this already, and we're not even halfway there. Not even halfway there. And she's talking bullshit.
Archetype. Her quest is not about her pain, nor is it about taking satisfaction in exacting violent retribution.
If there's a way to stop this war, we can't let it pass us by.
It's about protecting her world and the people she cares about.
But she's in a war. They keep talking about, they mentioned the war at least twice. I'm sorry, but violence is going to be a part of a war.
And unlike so many one-dimensional brutes...
Whoa. Max Payne, one-dimensional? Really? Max Payne? The Max Payne? The man who lost his wife and child as quite a good personality for a video game character. 3 games of character development compared to 1 game of Beyond Good and Evil. And you're saying he's a one-dimensional character? I don't know about Kratos, but I do know that Max Payne definitely has more than a one-dimensional character.
Heroes who are characterized by their own suffering, Jade does not wear the mantle of hero like a heavy burden. Instead, she retains her...
Max Payne's not a hero, and neither is Kratos. They are anti-heroes. There's a difference. And yeah, when someone loses a family, an entire family, to crazed, drugged up, scientist type people, yeah, I think they would be wearing their suffering on their shoulders. To show she doesn't play the game, she doesn't know nothing. All she has is a JPEG, and she thought, oh, that looks good. These guys look like stereotypical video game characters. Let's put them on. That'll make a good argument.
Her warmth and humanity over the course of her quest.
Not bad for a little girl and an old ham.
We did it, Paige!
Is it me? Or did she just kill that animal? I think she killed it. It doesn't look like it's getting back up anytime soon. What was this about? A non-violent character?
Not bad for an old fart.
Together with Uncle Paige, a mechanically savvy, anthropomorphized boar, Jade...
He's actually a pig. Boars are hairy.
Jade looks after a group of war-orphaned children, sheltering them in a lighthouse on the mining planet of Hillies. Though Hillies is, on the surface, a colorful and inviting place, not all is well in this world. We learn early on that an alien race has been attacking and abducting residents.
Here on Hillis, war has once again reared its ugly head, striking the civilian population. Luckily, our elite forces have once again arrived in the nick of time. I'm coming to you live from the Southern Lighthouse Shelter. Here is where some of the children whose parents have been captured by the Dons have been taken in by 2 devoted and courageous Hillians. Miss, a word for our listeners.
Yeah, well, you guys are not what I'd call as fast as a speeding bullet. Keep doing nothing, and next time, there'll be nothing left here to save.
Cut!
See what I mean? Looks exactly like Gamergate, doesn't it? Ironic. It's just ironic. As he talks about a game world, a plot where there's this small underground resistance fighting the massive corporate media aliens that have attacked the planet. Sounds a hell of a lot like Gamergate, doesn't it? Clueless. What have I told you? She knows nothing.
Recruited by a resistance organization called the Iris Network, Jade uncovers a vast conspiracy between the invading aliens and the government, with the corporate news media complicit in covering up the truth.
Here's what we know.
Like I said, guys. Like I said.
The victims are kidnapped by Alpha Section agents. They are then taken to the Neutrophils factory. Shuttles are then used to take them to the old slaughterhouses. And from there, they are loaded into military cruisers headed for the moon.
There's a subtle but subversive political dimension to Beyond Good and Evil's narrative.
It's pushing it a hell of a lot. I think she's kind of seeing things that aren't necessarily there, but you know, that's what feminist frequency do. They just beat a dead horse, trying to find meaning where there is nothing there, and you know, it's kind of like the Mad Max thing that's going on. People are saying that that's a feminist film, and really, it's just an action movie. Carry on.
Which highlights the importance of questioning mass media messages.
That's ironic, considering that you're telling us to listen and believe, especially with places like Kotaku and Polygon, who have done nothing but tell us to listen and believe your ideology. Isn't that just funny, Anita? Isn't that ironic?
And challenging institutions of power that perpetuate injustice.
Which is pretty much what the modern day feminist movements have been doing. And what we should be doing to you. May I rephrase that actually? The modern feminist movements are now the establishment, and Gamergate and Sad Puppies and other types of movements like that are trying to the stupidity is boring my brain again, people. You know what I mean. Basically, it's up to us to stop you and to end your status quo suffering. Anyway, carry on.
As a member of a resistance group, Jade uses her talents as a photographer to collect evidence documenting the conspiracy.
Upper floor? Okay, I see where you're at. We'll start the deciphering program.
And her combat skills to help rescue kidnapped members of the...
I thought she didn't use violence to solve problems.
The Iris Network. But she rarely goes it alone. Jade starts out the game with Uncle Paige by her side, and the way the characters interact makes Paige feel more like a partner than a mere sidekick.
Two the same thing though. A sidekick and a partner is exactly the same thing. Batman is no, not Batman. Robin is Batman's sidekick and partner. I don't get it. What's the difference, Anita? You're not telling us what the difference is. As far as I was aware, the two words mean exactly the same thing.
In this early scene, Jade is trapped until Paige appears, throwing her a staff she uses to free herself and overcome the destructive alien force.
Hang on, Jade! I'm coming! Free yourself, Jade! I'll create a diversion!
It may seem like
Damsel in distress trope.
A minor detail, but the fact that Paige tells Jade to free herself instead of doing it for her is...
He just did save her. If he hadn't busted out of that window with her staff, she wouldn't have been saved, she would have been eaten. Sorry to say that, Anita, but no matter how hard you tried to misconstrue this little scene, the fact remains that without Paige's help, she would have been nothing but alien fodder. Face it, she was a damsel in distress, and she was rescued by the man, or in this case, the male anthropomorphic pig. But you know, it's not okay when our games do it, but when social justice games do it, it's okay. But then again, I would not say that Beyond Good and Evil is her game, nor should she be trying to claim a game that has been beloved by quite a lot of gamers for the past 12 years as her own. Because, let's face it, it's not your game.
incredibly important. He assists her, but he doesn't rescue her.
He just did. That is textbook saving a person. You cannot misconstrue that as anything but saving someone. But you know, we'll let her carry on with her mental gymnastics because SJWs are going to lap this up anyway. But they won't buy the game anyway.
He knows that even in this situation, she's far from helpless, and the fact that Paige treats her as a capable partner encourages us to see her that way too. This moment also...
It shouldn't encourage anyone at all. They're just characters in a plot. If I am the main character, surely I would be already sympathetic to her anyway. So what's the point? What are you trying to get at, Anita? The argument is nothing but bullshit. That's all it is. You've not given us a single good reason why Jade is a positive female character. As far as I'm concerned, she's just box standard adventure type kind of video game character. There's nothing unique about her other than Oh wait, no, it's not unique, is it? Because she's not the first video game character to have a bloody camera.
Evokes a sense of mutual respect and partnership between these two characters, in a way that's all too rare for female characters in gaming. Eventually, Uncle Page is kidnapped and Jade is determined to rescue him. As a quick side note, it's important to point out that a kidnapped male character saved by a woman and a kidnapped female character saved by a man are not equivalent.
Just like, oh, domestic violence against women is completely different to domestic violence against men. Oh, women getting raped is entirely different to men getting raped. How is it different, Anita? When people are kidnapped, they are kidnapped. There is no difference.
Because while a damsel in distress reinforces long-standing regressive myths about women as a group being weak or helpless specifically because of their gender, a dude in distress does not reinforce any such ideas about men.
Neither tropes reinforce any types of stereotypes, any kind of gender norms, or nothing. They are simply plot devices that humans have developed to carry on a story or to give a character a goal. There's no nefarious patriarchal reason behind all of this. This is just your bullshit.
For more on the relatively rare dude in distress inversion, see part 3 of my videos on the damsel trope.
If it even... never mind. I was going to say, if it ever comes out, but obviously has.
Many games present an image of bravery and courage that suggests heroes are fiercely independent, rugged individualists. In those games in which heroes do have sidekicks, those sidekicks often serve as cheerleaders and ego boosters for the player, complementing
Examples and citations, please, Anita.
Them on their skill and accomplishments, or as impediments preventing them from progressing to a new section until they've completed some task. In Beyond Good and Evil, Jade's sidekicks, Paige and later Double H, feel not like cheerleaders or roadblocks, but like active companions who want to use their unique skills to assist Jade when they accompany her on a mission.
Ha ha! Say when, Jade! Jet boots attack!
An even better example would be Bioshock Infinite, where the two protagonists, I forget their names, Booker DeWitt and what was her name? Elizabeth, are mutually. Yes. Sorry, people, I'm doing this live, so obviously there's going to be a few mistakes. I need to rephrase what I was saying. Booker DeWitt and Elizabeth both need each other in order for the player to progress. You know, Elizabeth's main power, which is also an important plot device, is her rift ability, how she can bring things from another dimension into reality so that Booker DeWitt can use them as weapons or as ammo, or to create another NPC that can destroy other enemies. That's actually far more well developed and frankly a much better game mechanic than what this is. This is just bog standard adventure platforming. I've seen this in loads of games before this and since. There's nothing unique about this. Nothing unique about this. How? Anita's not giving us any good example as to how these sidekicks or partners, whatever you want to call them, are any different to people like Elizabeth. Or even like the protagonist from The Last of Us. There's literally nothing that sets apart these characters from others.
There's a sense of both good-natured humor and respect written into the banter between Jade and her sidekicks. She's warm but also assertive, and the tone of her interactions makes it clear that they aren't designed just to make her or the player feel better.
Okay, we're gonna have to keep on our toes now, Jade.
Don't worry, Uncle Page. We'll just take some pictures and get home.
What kind of banter was that?
Mechanics aren't significantly different from those associated with sidekicks in many other games. These characters fight enemies and are attacked by enemies, and often their special abilities, Paige's jet boots and Double H's bull rush, must be used to advance. But because the writing so effectively creates a sense of respect and camaraderie between Jade and her companions, these relationships become much more than simple gameplay interactions.
Thanks, Jade. I'd have ended up on a silver platter with an apple in my mouth if it wasn't for you.
Shut up. You're making me hungry. I'm gonna regret saving you.
They become a vital and memorable part of the experience of playing Beyond Good and Evil, and work to emphasize the game's themes of friendship and cooperation.
Which is what you would expect from any kind of video game characters, right? Just saying.
For years there have been rumors and even a teaser trailer about a Beyond Good and Evil 2. I hope this actually happens, but whether or not that sequel ever gets made, we definitely need more games with warm, compassionate, multi-talented characters who have realistic and relatable concerns, and more narratives in which...
I'm sorry, but the last thing that we need is more realistic concerns and realistic characters. They have their place, but they should be alongside the more fantastical characters. I'm sorry, but there is no need for this. There is no need for characters like this to improve gaming. Just because a character is realistic or has realistic needs and is whatever you want to call it, does not make video games any better. In fact, it could make it even worse because there'll be a glut in the market, it'll be oversaturated, people get fed up with it, or they just won't buy it. Case in point, World War II games. First, they were unique among first-person shooters, like Wolfenstein popularized it, and then we had Medal of Honor, we had Call of Duty, we had Hidden and Dangerous, who are more obscure game for you guys. Eventually, it became oversaturated as the games were just more of the same, killing Nazis, and people got fed up. And then the modern warfare arrived, and that set a new precedent, and for the most part, World War II games were extinct until recently. That's what's going to happen if people like Anita get her way, but, carry on.
Taking a stand against corrupt systems of power is more important than personal gain or revenge.
Funny. The irony is strong in this one. God, that felt like a bloody student debate, or some kind of student coursework that you have to read. It's all boring and it's horrible. Anyway, this has been Chaiman93, bringing yet another critical beatdown. This time on Feminist Frequency. Like and share. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you later.